I like that. I like that. I won't forget a sister who I care deeply about. We had gone to the Essence Festival in New Orleans, and after the Essence Festival was over, my wife and daughter, we got on the plane to come back to Dallas from New Orleans, and we flew Southwest Airlines, and the sister who I care deeply about and think so highly of, I call her Miss Grand. Miss Grand is quite a sister. The girl got it going on, always dressed to a T, and just loved and appreciated by so many people. And Miss Grand, my brothers and sisters, while it really doesn't matter, but it does matter, Miss Grand is a lesbian, proud of it, and I love her and thank God for her pride in who she is. And guess what? She blessed me in a powerful way, because Miss Grand is always dressed to a T. She's always sharp as a tack and clean as Clorox. And check out what Miss Grand did. Miss Grand was on the Southwest Airlines flight with me. Now, I got on Southwest for budgetary purposes. Miss Grand is always Clorox clean and sugar sharp, and so I didn't see what she was doing on Southwest. I said, Miss Grand, as she moved by me down the aisle, I can't believe you on Southwest Airlines. Ain't no first class section on Southwest Airlines, and yet you're on Southwest Airlines. How dare you ride this plane with the rest of us? And Miss Grand then shot back at me without even taking a breath. Wherever I sit is first class, so I don't need to fly. I don't have to fly an airline with first class in order to be first class, because wherever I sit is first class. If I'm in the bathroom, that's first class. If I'm in the back, that's first class. I'm first class not because of where I sit, but because of who I am. And that's my word to all of us in here. You are first class because of who you are and whose you are. But there's something else. There's something else. We've come this far by faith, affirming our identity, no question about that. That's why our ancestors sang, before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my God and be free. You didn't shout. Let me help you with that. They had shackles on their feet, chains on their hands, and said, before I be a slave, I'll be buried in my grave and go home to my God and be free, because these chains don't define me. What you think about me does not define me. I am who I am because of whose I am. But there's something else. We've come this far by faith. It's a faith, watch this, it's a faith that has allowed adversity, watch this, to tap our creativity and give birth to new just possibilities. I got to do that again. It's a faith that has always allowed adversity to tap into our creativity and give birth to new justice possibilities. That's why, even though my heart hurt at the outcome of Proposition 8, it just hit me that God was simply setting a stage for a greater victory. Because when you study the faith that the dark past has taught us, even the civil rights struggle was not a straight line from slavery to justice. There were setbacks, there were drawbacks, there were days of darkness and defeat. But God was even using the setbacks to set us up for victories that would not have come had we not been set back. And so all this is doing is allowing God to use adversity to tap in to our creativity. And we're going to give birth to some new justice possibilities. Adversity has always done that. No wonder God said, if we're going to get this country out of the economic mess we're in, I need a brother with DNA. Watch this. That is used to making something out of nothing. Because the reality is, black folk ain't never had much money. Black folk ain't never had a whole lot of money, but we've always known how to take little put it in the master's hand, and he made much. I guess y'all playing holy, so I got to go there. We haven't always had whole full bottles of Haynes ketchup. No. When we got low on ketchup, we wouldn't throw it away. We'd put it in some water in it, shake that bad boy up, and pour it on French fries and catfish. Adversity would simply tap in to our creativity and give birth to brand new possibilities. And is that not the beauty of this moment? And that is, I refuse to give up. I'm going to keep on looking up, because I know that somehow God is arranging all of this, and God is going to use the setback to somehow set us up for something that we would not have gotten. Think about the Montgomery bus boycott. It began with Rosa sitting, just wanting all she wanted. All they wanted in Montgomery, Alabama was dignity on the bus lines. But look what happened under Rosa Parks' courage and Martin King's drum majoring leadership. Instead of just dignity, they not only got dignity, but they integrated the bus line right there in Montgomery, Alabama, and set off a movement for justice in this nation that was not going to be stopped, because God can use setbacks to set us up for something much greater than what we anticipated. I've held y'all too long. I got to give you one more, though. We've come this far by faith. It's a faith that says we've got the courage to change the current. We'll go upstream to deal with injustice downstream. We've got that kind of faith, because faith without works is dead. And our faith is not just talking the talk, it's walking the walk. Our faith recognizes you don't just talk about it, you have to be about it. And that means you have to be about it when it comes to issues of justice, and you fight for justice in the name of love. Recognizing there will be a price that you have to pay. The cost will be there. Dr. Amos Brown took from me what I was going to share that happened in his own pulpit, and the fact that as he was preaching and standing for justice, somebody had the nerve, rooted in their ignorance, to come at him and attack him. That's what happens whenever you stand for justice and righteousness. But that's all right, because when you stand for justice and righteousness, you'll get nailed to a cross. You may even get assassinated. But the good news is no cross can keep you down. No grave can hold you. You will rise again, but you've got to maintain your fight for justice, rooted in love and righteousness. Dr. Zan Wesley Holmes tells the story about this particular community nestled in a village, and this particular village nestled in some hills, and adjacent to this particular village was a stream, and the stream was gorgeous. But one day this stream found itself polluted, watch this, with dead bodies. Dead bodies were floating downstream. They found it the first day, the second day, the third day. And the community, every day they found dead bodies, would give them dignified, decent burials and talk about how sad it was that something is wrong causing these bodies to be buried. Till then someone said, why are we simply content with burying dead bodies downstream? Why don't we go upstream and find out what's wrong? We have to have the courage to go upstream and not be content to give dignified, decent burials to bodies downstream. And so they went upstream and discovered that the bridge was out. And so many individuals, their cars at nighttime would go over into the river, and then their bodies would drown and they floated downstream. Somebody said, if we want to stop the dead bodies floating downstream, we've got to have the courage to go upstream and correct the broken bridge that is upstream. That's our challenge. That's what our faith says, and that is all across America. We must fight for everybody to have equal protection under the law.